Hey there everybody. I've lost nearly 300 pounds, and one of the biggest game changers for me has been fasting. From OMAD, 1 meal a day, to 3-day fasts, fasting has changed my life. No, don't go thinking it's starvation, it is transformation. Here's what Dr. Fortino and I discovered about how fasting heals your body and fuels your life. Come along with me and hang out with Dr. Fortino in Philadelphia. Let's go. Hello, hola, everybody in Philadelphia. Here I am, I'm Chuck with Dr. Fortino, and over the past couple of weeks I've tweaked my approach with my diet, and I've been following the OMAD approach, which is 1 meal a day, combined with the carnivore diet, doing what I'm supposed to be doing with the carnivore. And the first week I lost 9 pounds, and then from last Wednesday to today I dropped 3 pounds. And so 12 pounds altogether in 2 weeks. I'm down to 255, 55 pounds away from my goal. So Dr. Fortino, what makes fasting such an effective approach?
Fasting is such an integral part of...
Could you explain fasting before you get in?
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fasting and the fasted state are very helpful to the body. It's how your body gets into a low insulin state. When we are fasting, we're not eating for a certain amount of time. And how long that takes to get insulin down to a level where now you're producing ketones because you're burning fat. You know you're in a fasted state if you're producing ketones. What are ketones? These are the byproducts of fat metabolism. And you can't burn fat if insulin is high. Like after a meal, you can't burn fat. Fasting can take many forms. Some people fast the whole day. Some people will get up in the morning, not have anything to eat, and then eat midday, maybe once a day, and then get their body back into that low insulin state, that fasted state. It's very hard because we're so used to eating. Your body wants food when we don't give it. Very psychological behavior. But when you're in a fasted state, you're in a low insulin state, you produce ketones, you burn fat, and how long you extend that is very, very interesting. If you have the ability to extend it 3 days out, you're really doing your body a great justice. You're creating a state of low inflammation and autophagy, where your body is cleaning itself up. Are there any benefits to going longer than 3 days? I don't know, but it can be very hard to do. Celebrating his success with these small fasts are really amazing, and it takes practice. You would say the first time you did it was a little challenging, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And at first I did the 18-6, right? So that's where you eat within a 6-hour window. So I would skip breakfast and I would start eating at around 1 or 2 o'clock, and then I would eat my second meal at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, and then I would fast the rest of the day. And as I said earlier, now I'm doing 1 meal a day, so I eat at around 5 or 6. Maybe I'll have a piece of fruit, maybe an apple or something to assist it. But then the last 3 days, I've been fasting 3 days in a row. And I haven't eaten since Sunday at around 5:15 more or less. So today will be the end of my fast with that. And it's been very interesting, been challenging, but the more you fast, I think the easier it becomes. And I'm not as tempted by food as I had been before, which got me into such a bad place at the beginning, but it has been a very, very interesting approach to...
How do you feel brain-wise? Do you feel mental fog? Do you feel clear thinking?
I feel clear thinking. I think I can think about many different things without being distracted by the possibility of food. Although sometimes the topic of food comes up in my classes, and so that's kind of hard to look at pictures and not be tempted by it. But for the most part, I have some spurts where I feel strong cravings, but overall I think I've been able to suppress them pretty well. And I think it's just like with everything else in the process, the more you do it, the easier it becomes.
Right. And the ketones you produce are very important for your brain because your brain uses a lot of energy. If you're working out and you're running and jumping and pulling and pushing, muscles are gonna use a lot of energy. But outside that exercise state, your brain consumes so much energy. Ketones are a very powerful energy source, and we do utilize them much akin to glucose. It has about the same amount of energy per unit as glucose, and it's very powerful for the brain. Also, what you do after a fast is very important. You can't just go eat a Snickers bar after a fast. You have to eat appropriately. In other words, you have to eat foods that don't stimulate a great deal of insulin because you want to get that insulin down. You don't want it to plateau long. You want it to rise, do what it has to do, bring glucose down, and then get into that fasted state again. And every time you fast, and your body will get better and better. Your insulin will drop. And that's very important. We can't be in a high insulin state all the time. This is type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes isn't high glucose, it's high insulin. Type 1 diabetes is no insulin. And that's the difference between the two. And that's why when you fast, it really creates this contentment with food. You feel content, your brain thinks clear, you lose body fat. Are you able to work out when you're fast?
I have been working out.
So you are able to work out. You might feel a little sluggish when you first get into it, but you practice. You practice. You can't mess up. If you mess up, you start over. That's it.
Now, what happens when you reach your goal? Is it a possibility to continue fasting even after you reach your goal, or is that the time?
You mean when you reach your goal in
your final goal,
time?
like when you reach your final goal.
For weight loss?
Yeah, for weight loss.
Oh, you're always in practice.
Okay.
You know, how does a pianist say I've reached my limit of success? How does a composer in music say I've written the best symphony, I can't write anymore?
Oh, okay.
So you're always striving for better.
I like
You're
that.
always striving for better.
Yeah.
There is no, it's unlimited. You know, if I want to bench an X amount of weight and I reach that, what's next? I put 10 pounds more on the bar, right?
Yeah.
So you're always striving for better.
Yeah. And as we've said before, when you're at the beginning, if you're taking that first step, it might look like a mountain to you, but if you set those micro habits, those small goals, and you build on them, it's like something rolling down a mountain. It builds up, and you can gain momentum with it, and it gets easier. But you got to be consistent and just keep your mind focused. And I'm telling you, if I can do it, anybody can do it.
And there's so many useful resources online to look at fasting protocols. No one's better than the other. What works for you is very important. Just keep trying.
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Fortino.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you for your guidance, your mentorship. This guy's amazing. If you're looking to lose weight, this is who you want to contact. Okay, so thank you very much for watching us here in Philadelphia. You have a great day, and we'll see you on the flip side.
Ciao.
Carpe diem, my friends.